Okay, one of the things that I want to bring up in this video is paying attention to detail. A lot of people don't pay attention to those small details that give away some of the things that we see out on this horizontal plane. When I first got into this, basically I went out to debunk the flat earthers, but on my first initial video, I seen something that really caught my eye that made me say, wait a minute here, I'm going to have to do some research and also start paying more attention to the smaller details in my videos. So I started doing my own research and, looking into refraction, diffraction, mirages, atmospheric lensing, and all of these things that, my whole thing is I'm an observer, and I'm providing you with observations. I'm not out here to try to get you to believe me. Anybody that's a subscriber to me, you're a subscriber in my eyes. You're not a follower. I don't want anybody to follow me or believe me or, take my word upon anything. I mainly try to inspire people to go out and do their own observations and do their own research into how light is bent, and how this bending of the light can bend things down or up, all depending on where you are as far as the observer and your perspective of where you're standing at. You could be standing on a hill and look down and see mirages coming off the road, and it can bend your sight down or upward. And I think most of the time we see that light bending upward, especially when we're standing out on the shore, looking out into this horizontal plane. From our perspective, we always see things, going out further and appearing to go over a curvature. But are we really seeing that? And this is my point, that I don't see it in my observations, because what I see is the light being bent upward, and it's almost like the cloaking technology that they've been working on. And I'm sure that they're going to use this as a military application to bend light around, an object to where it's undetectable, or bend light around a person to where they're not detectable. And they do that with what? Mirrors. So this mirror and lighting. So this mirror and this lighting is diverting your vision around something. Also, our angular resolution to this horizontal plane is also creating an issue. Again, and I'm not wanting to, sway anybody or persuade them to just take my word for it. I really do want to inspire more people to go out and do what I do, because this has really helped me understand how the horizontal plane works and why I can't see the lower parts of a ship or a boat going out there. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you is I am very, very familiar with this water out here. I'm a flats fisherman, and I've been fishing these waters for over 25 years. So I'm very familiar with the areas. And not only that, is I've fished from Bayport. I've fished up to 10 miles to the south of me, 10 miles to the north of me, and 10 miles offshore. I have a friend that takes me grouper fishing, and I've been offshore 10 miles, and I can look back and barely see land. Now, at a point, the land becomes so small it is no longer detectable by my eyes, because my eyes cannot render that little sliver of land that is being actually hidden through that bending of the light. In other words, I'm not going to be able to see it. Just like if you pay attention to some of the birds here, you'll see them fly down and then you'll see them fly right back up. Are they landing in the water? No. They are actually flying underneath the cover of this bent light. I want to call it atmospheric mirroring, even though there is atmospheric lensing, and when you see the sun appear to set in this video towards the end, you'll understand the lensing part. But there's also what I would call atmospheric mirroring. In other words, the light is being refracted upward, so our vision is being ramped up or deflected upward, and this mirror that you see out there is actually not really completely mirroring off the water, but is also mirroring off the atmosphere. Why? Well, especially here in Florida, we have a lot of evaporation rate going on out there, and a lot of times I get people to say, oh, well, you know, you're out of focus. No, I'm not out of focus. The object that I'm viewing right here is basically being distorted. What is it being distorted by? The atmosphere, the water molecules in the air is what is actually causing the distortion. So again, you know, when you look toward the bottom of the boat, you say, well, you know, that's the water cutting it off. But one of the other things is you have to pay attention to is, what don't you see in this water when a boat gets out so far? You don't no longer see the waves. You no longer see the wake of the boat. And this creates a problem because you say, well, oh, well, that wake in that water is well below the curve. Well, why am I seeing the boat so high up in the air? From the visible water, and at times you will see this water protrude up. Once that water gets to a certain height, or the waves create, you know, a height for the water, my camera will be able to render it. But anything out past that, it can't render it. Why? There's many reasons why the camera can't render it. And, you know, you'll see this mirroring occur, and as some of these clouds are mirrored towards me, they're also elongated. But, you know, it begs to question, when I look farther out in the horizon, are those clouds being elongated out there too? So I get, you know, I want to split that mirror image in half, but I think that's the wrong thing to do because I actually think it's lower. In other words, the mirroring of these clouds in the background is not a perfect image. Why? Because that reflection that I'm getting of the clouds up above, as above, so below, are not perfectly matching with the clouds up above. In other words, it's elongated due to my angular resolution of it. So another thing that you have to take into consideration is I'm going farther and farther away as I zoom out with my camera. You know, the water itself is getting compressed. Why? Because it's farther out. So just like when I look at a board on my board test that I did, you know, I can make that 7-foot board turn into this little sliver. So in that little sliver, it's 7 foot long. Well, and you take a little sliver of this background here, it's miles long. And that's what a lot of times people don't understand, is that you know, perspective plays a big role in what we're viewing, especially with this 83 times zoom camera. Nikon's little mini Hubble here is excellent camera. The only thing I kind of have a complaint about is as it gets dark, it has low light resolution, so things start getting really grainy when once the light is no longer really visible. The light's visible, but when I zoom in way out there in the distance, a lot of times that light is not visible. But when I zoom back, of course, you will see the light from the sun still being produced, the light in the air. But you don't get that light out there on the horizon. Why is that? You know, well, That's because, probably the clouds are blocking out that light from hitting out in that horizon, even though it's lighting up the sky above me still. Um, so again, a lot of research goes into my stuff, but I am going to admit I do not do great edits. Again, I'm more of an observer than I am an editor of videos. So I have very little computer skills, which people have provided me with links and said to use these links and take parts from them and whatnot and use them. Well, again, I'm not very good at doing that. So I just kind of stick with my basic, simple observations. But like I said, I do my own research, but I don't share my own research. Again, I'm trying to inspire more and more people to go out and do their own research and observations, and let them find the answers to their questions. A lot of Globers will come on here and say, oh, you're a retard because you think the earth is flat. No, I'm not a retard. And I look at them as, you're just a retard because you believed everything that you were taught. We are indoctrinated in our schools to think that we live on a ball, but you have to take into consideration a lot of stuff when you actually start believing in that. And we were all in that same spot before, where we were just doing our basic beliefs because this is what we were taught, from first grade on, or even maybe kindergarten. You go into the school and there's this globe sitting on the teacher's desk, and you're so young, you go up and, well, what's this? And she says, well, that's where you live. You live on this spinning ball in space, and it's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, and then it's doing some ridiculous speed around the sun, and then the sun itself is doing this ridiculous speed through the Milky Way galaxy, and blah 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 blah, which is basically because you're young, you're ignorant, and you're gullible. You just believe it. So from then on out, this is stuck into your mind that you live on this spinning ball in space. But have they really ever proved it? No, I don't think so. I've never had enough hard evidence really to, believe what I've been taught. And that's one of the things. I think that we're raised in a belief system that we are mind screwed, if you want me to put it that way, into believing a lot of things that we didn't have physical proof of. One of them is, taking a big chunk out of the globe and showing you all these different layers of all the way down to the core of Earth. That was one of the things that I said, well, how do they know that? So, look at how far they've dug into Earth and how can they find these things. Now, I understand that they has ways to penetrate the ground to get a reading of what's under there, but they can't go all the way to the core of Earth to see what's down there with these seismic vibration machines, where they put a ping down into the earth and it pings back, and they can find oil and shell and coal and all that stuff. It does not go that deep. So the deepest hole that they went was 7 miles, but they're going to tell you that they know that our core of the earth is iron or nickel, and it's a molten lava. Wow. I can't even believe that I used to believe that. So again, we were all in this situation where we just accepted what we were told. So, again, getting back to, me, I was really skeptical about flat Earth until I started doing my own research and digging in deep to find a lot of different things that would debunk it. But the more I researched into these subjects, I found more and more evidence towards the flat surface, or why things do appear to go over curves. Now, I'm going to provide some links in my description or in a comment, one of them, and I'll pin the comment so people can find it. But I will hope that people will um, take these links and do their own research. Um, you know, like I said, I'm kind of an average guy. I started work at a young age, you know, after school job, and I worked my butt off all the way up to the point where, even at a young age, I was a foreman on a crew, and after about 10 years of doing my trade, I decided to go into my own business. And I've done pretty good. I've been in business now 28 years. Um, and my business actually relies on water. And, you know, this was one of the things that I said, man, I've been in this business working with water most of my life and never really took into consideration some of the things that we know about the properties of water. You know, undisturbed water can be perfectly level. Now, wind can move water, of course. So, you know, if you got a puddle of water and you put a blower on it, what happens? Well, it blows off to the side and it can create like a cavity. And of course, you know, it's mostly, you know, it's always blowing out on the water. So can it cause a concavity look? Okay, waves and swells. Okay, they create little voids in behind them. And when you're looking at mirages, which, you know, somebody wants to tell me that this boat that I'm seeing is a mirage. No, I say that that's the boat. The upper portion of the boat is the real boat. The lower portion is a reflection of the boat. And why it's being cut off is because out there in the water is the mirage. It's not the boat. It's the water that's creating the mirage, like on land. But because it's on water, we don't, a lot of times people just will say that the boat, everything is a mirage, and it's being somehow popped up from behind the curvature of Earth with this magical force. No, I don't think so. And you can find this out. There's a little video that I'm going to provide at the end of this video of some Mirage footage. And this Mirage footage is compliments of Rethinking Everything. He put out a video that's unlisted from driving in a vehicle and really just chasing the mirages, you know, as you're moving down the road. So you will see these mirages form at the top of hills and bottoms of hills. And you can also get it on the flat surface too of the road. And what is that caused by? Well, there's many factors that cause the mirages on the road. Number one, the heat. And the heat will also distort things. If you ever looked over the ground on a really hot day, even in the grass, you'll see this wavy action. That's the heat that's causing a lot of the distortion that we see too, along with the water molecules that are in the air. You know, heated water molecules cause a distortion. And my whole thing is you know, this atmospheric mirroring, I say, is all of this mirroring caused by just the water alone? And I have to say that I don't think so. Because if it was caused just from the water alone, I would probably be able to still see part of the boat, and I would get a perfect mirror image underneath this boat of the boat on the top. But again, you also have to look into all kinds of different things, you know, because this boat is so far away from me, and my camera cannot render the waves. Are the waves blocking out some of this boat? I believe so. And you can see that on some of my other videos that I posted out there, where I show you the bird rack. The main bird rack is 3.5 to 4 miles away, depending on where I'm standing at on the shore. But most of the time, it's about 4 miles. So how am I seeing this? You know, I see the bird rack itself, and I see the mirroring under it at times. And then on other days, where I'm actually standing on the shoreline, 5.5 feet up, I not only see the bird rack, um, but I also see water beyond the bird rack, behind the bird rack. So on that particular day, I had really good visibility. Visibility does play a role, and I think the atmosphere, the lighting, um, let me say, the angle of the sun or where the light is coming from, also will either cause images or objects to either be visible or not so visible. And in this case, of course, the whole boat is not visible because it is being cloaked. Cloaked by what? By the mirroring. And you know, this is one of the big things that my observations have proved to me. Um, Again, I don't expect anybody to believe my videos or believe in me. That ain't my goal. My goal is to inspire people to do this themselves, and go out and do their own research and see where it leads you. Okay, especially if you are definitely a globe believer, you should really think about doing a lot of research into this, because I don't really want to say it, but the truth will set you free from the brainwashing that you've had done to yourself, or you know, they have done to you through your education system. And you know, I know it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to grasp, because I had an issue in the very beginning. I went from um, you know, looking at a flat Earth video and just laughing my ass off, um, and then going and you know, I did a little research, and then while I was doing my research, I ran into Stephen Lord Christ's a video from him. So I started looking at his stuff, and ooh boy, you know, I thought, man, this guy's smart, and you know, he pretty much has a way with words, um, but his claim of being, you know, Jesus Christ in the flesh, uh, really made me question this guy. So then when I started questioning him, I started questioning what he was saying, then I started questioning what he was showing and what he wanted you to believe. And I immediately kind of disconnected myself with him. I did have some words with him. I deleted a lot of the comments that I made to him on some of his videos, because he actually brought out the worst in me. In other words, I said some things that I don't really like saying, and I've said other comments on other people's channels that, yeah, I really shouldn't be saying those things, because um, well, I think we've all been there, and I think you all know probably where I'm coming from. But you know, if you go out and you do your own observations and you do your own research, because I can't make you believe anything. You have to find the answers for yourself in order for you to break this mind control. Um, so I'm going to leave it up to you, the viewer, to view what I show, observe what I show, and then go on and do your own observations and your own research, and believe in yourself, because that's what we have to do. We have to believe in ourselves, not believe in others, or not believe in our teachers, or not believe in our education system. And it's believing in oneself is where I found that I went. And again, it, we all of us flat earthers, we're all in the same boat. You know, we had to believe, and we were led to this belief through our education system. And I don't want to say a lot about religion, because religion and politics create wars. So I don't try to bring religion into my videos, for a reason, and I don't want you to think of me not bringing religion into my videos as a bad thing. I want you to realize that that is totally personal and up to the person. Now, do I believe in creation? Yes, I do believe in creation, because I don't think that you can get something out of nothing. If you got nothing, you got nothing. And you'll never get anything out of nothing. So, I mean, that's basic common sense. And that's what I try to use more than anything, is my common sense, and my belief in myself, and determining things on my own, thinking for myself, even though I get criticized and ridiculed for it. I think it's important for one to, again, believe in himself, and believe in your own research, and believe in what you find in that research. Now, yes, some things can lead you astray, and when you're, man, I watch my videos over and over again. I've watched them in slow motion. I've paused them. And there's a whole lot of small detail in them that really, really, I find that a lot of people that watch my videos don't even comment on the small details that are in my observations. And like any flat plane that you are on, you have to increase your altitude, not to see over a curve, but to see more of the plane. And that's why I did my little board test. I mean, on a 7-foot board, it looks like this little sliver, and then as I rise up, my camera can start rendering or resolving, because of my angular resolution, more of the board. So I rise up a little bit. Now, instead of my board being a little sliver, now it's, apparently a couple of inches long, and I can get up to a point, as I increase my height, and then that board looks like maybe a foot long. And as I increase my height more, then it looks like 2 foot long, so on and so forth, until I get completely over the top of it and look directly down upon it. I see the whole board. So in order to see more of Earth, you have to increase your height. It's not being that you're looking over any curvature of Earth. And that's one of the things that I realized, that I'm not looking over the curvature of Earth. If I was, I would see it rolling away from me, not rolling upward. And the rolling upward, coming to eye level, I think is more due to the fact that our that light is deflecting our vision upward. In other words, it's creating a ramp effect. And that ramp effect is what cloaks the bottom ends of the boats or ships or any object that's out there on the water at long distances. Perspective, you have to take into consideration. I got a boat right in front of me that I started tracking these boats from right in front of me and tracking them out. And at a certain point, instead of them going below the visible water line, look at this boat, for instance. It's above the visible water line, and you see the wake that it's being pushed out from it. And you also see all the mirroring that's occurring. Even the wake is being mirrored. So you have to start questioning a lot of this stuff, and start researching a lot of this stuff, and let you, as the viewer and as your own person, decide on what you think. It's not about a belief. It's about what you can know. And as I watch this boat right here settle back down into the water, now, because you cannot see that water that's actually there, where's that boat actually laying at? Now you could draw a line on that, right where that bird just went by too, is a pretty good example of where that true horizon line is. That bird ain't flying on the other side of the curvature of Earth, and you know, this diffracted light or deflected light is bringing it up from behind the curve. The bird was there, flying right in front of that boat. So again, you know, I mainly, my whole purpose is to inspire people. Now, there's a group of so-called flat earthers out there that are, I say they're wreaking havoc upon the real truth seekers out there, even though they want to claim that they're the real globe busters. Hi, Bob, Jaron, Morgile, all you guys do great work, and that's what a lot of people are saying. But you know, you've got this group, I call them the Brigade of Clowns, as you well know, that are out there trying to lead people away from some really good work that a lot of the good flat earthers are doing. Now, this Brigade of Clowns has been calling all the flat earth people that don't believe in them shills and gatekeepers, including me. You know, they've been just trying to discredit us. And obviously, they're trying to discredit you because you are not going along with their simulated world bull crap. I'm not falling for it. Recently, I got a comment from one of the guys that I so far haven't blocked from my channel. So in other words, they had to send their little do boy to my channel because everybody else has been blocked out from this group of clowns. Now I'm going to name them, and you know, hey, I'm sorry, but the first guy that I'm going to name actually helped me out in the very beginning. He's the one that taught me how to convert my videos and be able to put them on YouTube. Appreciated his help very much. But what I found that is, if I didn't go along with his beliefs or what he was trying to tell me to believe, then he threw me under the bus because I put out a video that was titled "The Sun Never Sets." You know, flat Earth, the sun never sets. Well, he broke off our friendship due to this, and his name is Q and Fee. The other one is Awake Souls, Event Skeptic, Enslaved by the Media, Flat Earth Photography, and many more. And I personally don't have nothing against them. It's, the only thing I got against them is for them to come on my channel or them trying to discredit my work, my observations. You know, they want to say, oh, you know, all your videos are all out of focus and everything. Well, I admit some of my videos are out of focus, but as far as you know, when they're being distorted on a long zoom, I can't focus the camera any better than what I've already got it focused at. So focus is not my main issue. You know, I mean, this video here, all my stuff was pretty much well focused in on. So where are they going with their trying to discredit a lot of the real good flat earthers out there? Well, they want to discredit you to draw in your subscribers and make them their followers because they want followers. They don't want subscribers. And that's one of the things that I see. Look at that beautiful mirroring. And there's this part here that I'm going to slow down right here in a little bit. I put it in slow motion because I don't want you to look at the boat. I want you to keep an eye on the right-hand side of the screen. You're going to see this bird. And this bird is going to be half kind of like cloaked. He's going to be like flying in the mirror and out of the mirror, both at the same time. Right here, see him on the right? In and out, in and out, in and out. And that's where I used my mirror, my convex concave mirror, to see if a reflection can vanish within its own self, its own reflection. And sure enough, it does. And you can find that in any of the funhouse mirrors, how parts of your body will disappear. So you can even do a little bit of research on that. Now, I usually don't well, I guess I do talk a lot in a lot of my videos, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back to the original audio in it, because I don't think I can really say any more to inspire you than what I've already have. So in turn, I hope that I really do inspire people to go out and do their own research and their own observations and come to your own conclusions instead of the belief system. All right. So again, go out and research, go out and do observations, and listen to your own common sense, and stop believing in the belief system that you have been taught your whole life to believe in. All right. I appreciate all my subscribers, not my followers. Please like, subscribe, share this video if you will. And don't let the clowns get under your skin like I've let them get under my skin many times, because I'm done with them. I'm done with making videos about them. They want to lead people astray and call me the gatekeeper. That's fine. I mean, you can even look at the side of this boat and see how the boat sinks down. I mean, all of this plays a big role. I mean, look at the wake. The wake that you can't see out in the water is blocking out the boat. I mean, there's a lot to go with observations. So please do your own research, do your own observations, and come to your own conclusions. All right, thanks. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll talk to you again at the end of the video when I pull up the Mirage, chasing the Mirage video. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate your time and your patience in watching this video. Another thing I do want to say is try slowing some of the footage down too here and there, and really try to take in all those small details that I was talking about. I think that'll help you come to a conclusion. All right, thanks. Y'all have a good day.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Looks like there's red ant and there's little mangrove islands, palm trees in the back. So why did you have your camera? What a good idea.
Oh, I thought you went up with verify the back so you can pull them in close.
Here's a minute. I heard a ball. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a Chevy. Oh yeah. I bought a 39 Pontiac, and it was all original. I sold it to my son, and he robbed the subframe and put a little small block in it. And then he wound up, he cut the top off and made it a convertible. And nice, beautiful.
More than 4? Okay, the whole trunk fit a 55-inch TV.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't have to lay the seats out. Okay. Now, it totally isn't cool. You know, there's air in it. Were they set? You didn't buy a stage water.
I bought 3 Mustang convertibles in two 66s and a 64. And 2 of them are all rotted out. Real bad. All the boxes, subframes, everything was gone. And I set it on a Van Dam chassis and GM chassis and put a small block, 350, 350. And it looked just like a stock Mustang. But it's called an half-breed.
Oh, this is true. That's my right there. There's 4. And the meat is so tender. Tastes like chicken. Oh, wait, that one. There's hard ones there.
That's a lot of weight to have in the background. You didn't even see that.
How did you find that?
Little bubbles on the other end?
Almost did it.
Yeah, you got like 7 minutes left
Why?
for sunset.
I got only 7 minutes left.
Yep, you made it here just in the
I
nick
better
of
go find
time.
me a woman real quick.
Just one?
Huh?
Just one?
That's all I can handle. I got 1940. Oh, yeah, because I'm 47, right?
46.
46?
Yeah, that's what my phone says. My tide
Oh,
chart.
didn't say anything. Come on, talk.
Oh, it'll read it out.
Yeah.
Actually, 747. Like, hey, 747.
Yeah, it's a jet.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah. I got 10 minutes left on this video, so that should be good.
I haven't seen you down here in a while.
I've been hiding.
Okay. Wife hadn't let you out, huh?
Nah, I just took a couple of days off. I hadn't been feeling good. I just come down here to adjust my camera because I said, man, when they set it back to factory specs, they had it all messed up. And I just now got it fixed nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a good focus, good everything on it. Look at that. That's something right there.
Well,
I pulled back.
last night was okay.
Right to there.
I got this one here. Come on, turn. There you go.
Nice.
That was a couple nights ago. That wasn't last night. Go ahead, do it to me.
¿Qué era eso? Y siempre que
This looks like a double
I didn't
reflection.
know if I was coming down here tonight or not.
Nah. Wasn't sure. Man, these the fishermen. People have been fishing all day.
People right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, I was driving down 50 the other day, and I seen the cops coming up behind me, so I, slowed down, of course, and got in the right lane like you're supposed to. And the lady that stayed in the fast lane, she just steps on it and stops, like right in front of the cop. I was like, what is she doing? Because she about made three or all four. There was a car in front of me, about made all four of us wreck.
Yeah.
I was like, my God. Sea cow, good eating.
No speak English. Okay.
Wow.
I like that.
I got a nice view on it. Let's full zoom back. Look at a mirror, mirror. Mirror, mirror.
Yeah. I showed her Cookie Monster. I took pictures of a cloud the other day. I was coming down here and see if I can pull it up. The guy had his drone. I told him this is Cookie Monster, and look at him. See his eyes here and his mouth here?
Looks like a gator.
Either a frog or a Cookie Monster or something like that. There were some people that loved my pictures of the clouds and not the sunset, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great picture.
Thank you. It's gonna pop out.
Three-quarters of the moon over there.
Yeah, I know. I got it in a little hole in the clouds the other night. I was over in Ridge Manor. Went over to a friend's house. Doing the sunset from a field, and
look how the clouds go.
yeah, I got all these dragonflies flying around. They look like UFOs flying all around the sun. All stuffed up. Get a bow. Jeez. Mirror, mirror. Not only here, but out there. I don't want to move right here. I'm going to stay right here.
That was pretty when I was driving down here, and then it changed. A couple nights, it looked like it's going to be a beautiful sunset. And then it went behind them clouds out there.
Yeah, that little room that you'd never see until the last minute.
Now they're worried about Irma. I said, there's no sense in worrying about it, you know.
you might prepare yourself when you get all your papers together and everything.
And a boat going in front of it. Wow.
I guess Lisa went back to New Jersey.
Is that your girlfriend?
No, that was a girl that was sat out here all the time. The one I showed all my cloud pictures to.
Ah,
And she goes, what was that, a manatee?
yeah. Yeah, it's been sitting right there for a while.
Well, the bugs are back too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They like me.
They
I'm
do
sweet.
too. They chew the hell out of me, man. The mosquitoes like to eat on me.
You're a sweet guy, man.
I think that's what it is.
We're sending this woman that went up to Pennsylvania. I sent her pictures here, and she goes, "Oh, you're such a wonderful photographer." I said, "No, I'm wonderful. The camera's the photographer." 1947.
Yeah.
Should be set.
It's done. I just seen it.
No steam coming out this time.
No.
Okay. That's good. The guy was telling me was a guy pulling his boat, pulling the boat from over here. He pulled it all the way down past the dock,
Oh, yeah.
and somebody said, "Hey, it's shallow out there." I said, "Of course it's shallow."
No shit, Turla.
Actually, when he got down towards where the bend is in the dock, he went over his head. I laughed. Well. These people in these small boats, I've been seeing them out here. 6, 7 people in these little small boats.
Oh, I know.
Crazy people. Crazy. All right, let's do this. All right, hey, that's pretty good. Rocks. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want to take pictures of the rocks.
Picture of the rocks.
There's the ripples in the. I like those ripples. Ripple.
I like mirror, mirror.
That's good.
Oh wow, this is pretty spot.
Looks like the sky's on fire.
Yeah, it is. Especially right there.
Well, we didn't get no rain today. I even hung my jeans out on the line to see if it would rain.
I got rain in my house.
My
It's a little bit, but
my neighbor the other day, he hangs his clothes out on the line, and it rained, so I had to leave him out there another day. Before he got out there to get them, it rained again. So the third day, he goes out there, he's taking his clothes off the line, throwing them in the basket, throwing them in the basket, throwing them in the basket. He didn't realize he had about 2 inches of water in the bottom of the basket.
basket. So you got them all wet
All
again.
wet. Yeah, they hang them all out again. People are funny.
fantastic tonight.
I think I got enough
Wow.
pictures. I just offloaded a bunch of them to my computer today. Only 152.
Only?
Wonder if I could get a good shot of the moon there. I probably could. If I could hold still in the...
Look at this boat way out there.
He's coming in. Yeah, I see him coming in.
He's just cutting across.
Yeah.
Actually, if you think about it, this goes like this. If a boat comes out this way and a boat comes out that way, they'll look like they meet together out there.
A boat meeting.
It's perspective. You know, really think about perspective, what perspective actually is.
I need to find me a good tree service. I need to cut down a tree that's growing too tall.
What the heck's the name of that, guys? Skippers Tree Service.
Skipper Tree Service?
Yeah.
Come on.
Here's
Kayakers.
Here's a good mirror right here. Mirror. Mirror. And right there is really the horizon. It's above that visible water line. Everything just starts mirroring after that certain point. I got some videos where the bird rack that's out there,
Yeah.
where it's always mirroring, right?
Yeah.
And one day it was such good visibility, I could see water beyond it. And that little bitty piece of water that was beyond it is probably miles. Because I followed this one boat that stayed on the water line until it just
There goes the real small.
just mushed straight into the water. I mean, that's how small it got.
I hear you. What do you want?
Just gonna leave it right there for a
My
minute.
daughter's worried about this
Hurricane coming.
I said, don't worry about it until next weekend.
Yeah.
Did you get a picture of sunset? I think so. Then I sent her a picture. I think so.
Just my wife ordered me another remote, being that I broke it.
Hmm.
It was one of the reasons why I wasn't down here.
Why would you want to do that?
I went up to that observation tower and jumped over that little wall. I was curious to see how bad it was. Well, there was another barrier that they made, and
Look at the clouds on that one.
yeah, nice. And somebody had knocked it down, but they had left the bottom 2x4 and the top 2x4. I went to take a step up the steps, and yeah, took a face dive. Surprised I didn't break my camera. Get off there, Ant.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah, man, I'd have been really upset then, because I just got it back.
Well, why don't you let me get out of here first before you start? She puts, ooh.
Wow.
I gotta get the mosquitoes eating me.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here long either. I figured I'd stay a little bit after sunset and do one more video, because after a while you can't see nothing out there. It just gets too dark.
Yeah. Well, you have a good one.
You too, and hope you find that woman.
Oh, I'll find a
Have a good one, man. What's her name, by the way?
My name?
Yeah.
I'm
Dave.
Rick. Yours is easy because my brother's named Dave.
Yeah, I got an easy name to remember.
Yeah. It's Evad backwards, I guess, you know. There's that manatee. He keeps coming up, looking at me. He said, "You gonna take my picture?" Up. You missed me.
Yeah, that's what they seem to always say, right? Take my picture.
Yeah.
I have bad luck with manatees. I take their picture and then I lose all my video.
All right, guys.
All right, you have a good one. Look at this mirroring. You know, I ask some people if they're a Mirage. Are you real or are you just a Mirage? Bugs are bad.
How long did you keep it going for? How long did you keep it going for? Till it's dark?
I'm gonna leave early tonight. I usually stay here till it's pretty dark, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But the bugs are too bad right now.
Yeah, they are.
You doing time lapse?
No, I'm actually doing video.
Nice.
83 times zoom out there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
The bugs, the bugs, the bugs.
Okay. It's in my ears.
I have 4 minutes and I'm out of here before the bugs eat me up. Flying up my nose and everything else. What the hell is this guy doing going around in circles? I see, he was coming back to the bird rack. Getting in the channel. Oop. That's all, folks.
Okay, I took a snapshot right off the very beginning of this video you're fixing to watch of chasing the mirages, or the mirrored pavement. Now, as you can see how the road itself is blended and mirroring the sky, and the only thing that you can detect that, you know, why you're not actually seeing into the sky is due to the landscaping that's there. But if you was to crop that picture, you would think that at the edge of that mirage would be the horizon line. But of course, as we can see in this picture, it is not. So again, you know, if I was just to crop it in the little sliver up above where the road is open, and just showed you that part, you'd say, yeah, well, there's the real horizon. But it's not. And that's where miraging deceives us. And, you know, we will think that that's the curvature when we're looking out over the water, but it's definitely not. So again, do your own research. I don't want to talk all the way through this video. I'll provide a link to Rethinking It All's channel in a comment or in the description. Like you to really watch, observe really close, and pay attention, real close attention to the details that you will see in this mirage footage. I think it will provide some good information for the mind, for your thoughts on how this mirage is working on your eyes, especially over long distances of water, and why it can cut off the bottom ends of any object, no matter if it's a boat, a sign, a bird rack, or what have you. Also, it can cause mirroring, which is another thing that you'll see in this. You know, you'll see a mirror image of the object inside the mirage, or in the mirage. And again, these are observational proofs that we can use to provide actually to confirm, excuse me, to confirm that we don't live on a ball, that it's all a plane of existence that we live on, the horizontal plane. I ride in a flat boat. They drive on airplanes. All these things really make sense when you really start thinking about it and researching it and observing it. All right, next up is I got some music coming up from Music Guru channel. Flat Earth Man is back. Puppet show. He gave me permission to use his music. I will also provide a link to his channel and to the video of this song. All right, thanks.
Well, let me tell you something about the space station. It's only really there in your imagination. That thing ain't real, it's science fiction. It's there to feed your space addiction. Those astronauts are not in space. It's written all over their stupid face. See, I can spot a lie from 100 miles, and I can spot a fraud from the way they smile. Didn't you learn nothing from the fake moon mission? That puppet show from President Nixon. Well, listen up, they're doing it again, it seems. Check out the harnesses and green screens. I used to work a lot in film and TV. I know a bit about the television trickery to create the illusion that you're somewhere that you're not. A green screen is what you're gonna use a lot. Or if you wear a harness and attach it to the ceiling, the illusion that you're floating is what they'll be believing. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the human race. So let me tell you something about a zero-G plane. This thing flies up and then down again. Some weird stuff happens if you're on the inside. You start to float as the plane takes a dive. Simply add an actor that's trained to deceive, and you got yourself an astronaut, or so you believe. Plane flies up and that's everyone's cue. Then action, we got some deceiving to do. Plane flies down and then everyone knows to start the ISS live show. Floating in a plane with zero-G, but you only see astronauts on your TV. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the human race. Well, another thing I noticed when I looked at these fools, they're filming spacewalks in buoyancy pools. NASA's gonna tell you that it's just for training, to practice for space station maintaining. Well, I thought about that, but if that's the case, then why the hell can I see bubbles in space? Take a hard look at the next spacewalk. Tell me if you can see bubbles at all. Open your eyes, man, I'll bet you a quarter. Those spacewalks are filmed underwater. I can see space bubbles everywhere. Hey, NASA, how the hell did those get there? All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the human race. So when you see an astronaut aboard the ISS, take another look at your TV set. They're pretty good at faking, so you gotta look close. Pay some attention to the way the actor floats. If you ask me, that ain't zero gravity, but Hollywood effects that I see on my TV. Take a good look at the whole damn thing. These lying bastards are just puppets on a string. It's all a big science fiction puppet show. The game's up, nassholes, cause we all know. Thanks for the show, NASA. It's been a blast. Now take your fake station and shove it up your... All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the whole human race. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're just actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the whole human race, man. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the whole human race. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're just